Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a super awesome video for you guys today. I think you guys are going to love it. Not just is it about another reason why I think gold and silver are about ready to go through the roof, but it's also about your savings accounts if you're in the EU. For those of you guys that have been following a new announcement that came out of the EU about your unused savings account, don't worry. They're not going to take your savings accounts unless it's your savings account that's being unused. What is the difference? There's not one. Your savings account is unused money, and therefore they're going to help you invest it. So we're going to talk about that today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps me out more than you know. If you're not subscribed, take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button and do the ultimate thing for the channel. And check out some of our other great videos. We have a lot of awesome videos we post every day, and if you start watching the channel, you're going to love it. You're going to be hooked, and you're going to be here every morning, I think. A special thank you to all of our members of the channel. I can't thank you enough. And a special thank you to two new members that just became members, Bill W. and I'm horrible at pronouncing last names, Luke Lefevre. I think it's French, and I don't think you have the B. I think the B is silent. I could be wrong on that. But thank you both, Luke and Bill, for becoming members. If you are considering becoming a member out there and you're watching this video, a lot of great perks in becoming a member. It's only $1.99 to become a member, and every month you have a chance at winning a free ounce of silver. We do a live video every month, and somebody walks away with a free ounce of silver, and so it could be you. Plus, your comments go directly to my phone, and so I always catch your comments. If it's a reply, I don't catch those necessarily because it's only your original comments that get sent to my phone. So if you have a question or you want to give me an idea for a great video, you can post it in the comments. I love reading y'all's comments. I spend a lot of time every day keeping up with comments. Before we get started in talking about what's going on in the EU, I want to take a minute and do a quick little recap on what's going on with gold and silver. So today we did see, I should say yesterday, I'm filming this in the middle of the night, but yesterday we did see gold come down. Went from $24 down all the way to $23, only to rebound a little bit. Now, for those of you that don't know, it's a great buying opportunity. I told you guys I'm expecting before the month comes to an end, we're going to see something in the 22 range. I would like to see lower 22s. 22.90 is not what I had in mind. I don't think this was it. I think we will see it dip a little bit more next week. However, with what's going on in the EU, that really worries me, but it doesn't. And the reason it does, it worries me because they want to take everybody's savings accounts and reinvest it. We're going to explain that a little bit more, what I mean by that in just a minute. However, that is going to scare a lot of people. This plan is going to make people want to spend their savings account, and they are thinking they're going to spend it on the economy. However, I think a lot of these people are going to spend it on trying to acquire more gold, trying to acquire more silver, and trying to get something outside of the system in their grubby little hands that want to take everything that they can. And I think more and more people are starting to realize that and wake up to it. Now, it's interesting to see that. So what I mean by that is that could escalate silver and gold sooner than we think. I honestly wish they didn't announce this until after the first of the month, because after the first of the month, I told you guys, I think we're going to start to see another run up on the next leg up on gold and silver. Am I worried about it? You know, obviously I'm looking for buying opportunities. I tell you guys, because I place big orders, a dollar makes a big difference. I mean, $34 down to $33 on a 100-ounce order, that's $100, or almost 3 extra ounces. Now, does 3 extra ounces matter today? Probably not today, but will it matter when silver goes to where I believe it's going to go? Absolutely. Now, you know, I've been stacking for a while, so I am trying to wait for the little dip. It makes a difference. For those of you that are brand new to this, more and more people are joining the channel. More and more people are watching. I have to say, that obviously is a sign that more and more people are waking up to precious metals. If you don't have any, I don't think there's a better opportunity for you to buy than there is right now. With that being said, like I said, if you have a bunch, you want to wait and try to save 50 cents or a dollar. I totally understand that. Gold, we're going to move on now. Just real quick, do a quick recap on gold. Gold, we did see bounce down today, but still well clear above the $3,000, which is awesome. They could not beat it down too low. Do I think we will go under 3,000? Honestly, I think there's a possibility that we're slightly going to break down under the $3,000 level. Not solid, because as soon as it goes under $3,000, I'm convinced that there are going to be a lot of automatic buys in place that will start buying it right back up. And we've seen that as we saw it go down to $3,020 today. Instantly, you can see the volume in the bottom of the screen that really started picking up and pushing it higher. I don't think we've got any major room to come down. $3,031, $3,021 to under 3,000. I mean, what are we talking? 20 bucks? It's not going to make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. And therefore, I'm still picking up gold when I can, although I think silver being so undervalued is the better buy. But I totally understand. There's a lot of people out there that are seeing the huge gains in gold, and they're almost mesmerized by it. And that's why we had 60% of the people that watched the channel in a recent poll say, I would take gold over silver. Only 40% said they would take silver over gold, which when you have that many people saying it, obviously gold is popular right now. But I personally think the big returns are still going to be in silver, but I think gold is going to do very well. Is it going to matter if we see a 75% increase on silver and a 65% increase on gold for the year? No, it won't matter. Both of them are great returns compared to what a savings account would pay you. And so that's why I think, gold and silver are looking great, especially when you start looking at other assets. Right now, we did see the DXY go up today a little bit. For those of you that don't know what the DXY is, that is the dollar index. That is basically the dollar being valued against other fiat currencies. They're not valuing it against gold. They're not valuing it against real assets. They're valuing it just against other everyday currencies. And let's be honest, they're all dirty. None of them are really looking great, but the dollar is looking better than a lot of them. And we did see it climb today to 104. And that is what pushed gold and silver a little bit down. Do I think there's a possibility we're going to see that climb before the month comes to an end? Absolutely, because there's a lot of short positions that have to clear out before the month comes to an end. We are ending the first financial quarter. It does come to an end in roughly 9 days. At some point in those 9 days, usually closer to the end of the month, we do see some sort of a pullback so they can clear those short positions and then let it run. Taking a quick look at Bitcoin, we got Bitcoin not really down that much today, but once again, when you look at a 1 month chart, it's down $14,000 or roughly 15% or 14 and a quarter to be exact. A lot of people getting worried about Bitcoin, and we're not really seeing much out of it. We're seeing more and more sell-offs, and we're seeing a couple big players continue to buy huge positions in it. But these are also players that have been in trouble before by making huge bets and essentially tanking a lot of wealth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I was actually just privy to a piece of information about some of the big players that are in Bitcoin were big players in the .com bubble, and a lot of them lost big time. And so I'm thinking about doing a video really going into that pretty soon. But I don't want to diss Bitcoin too much, because I know there are a lot of people on the channel that watch Bitcoin. And, if you're diversified, then hey, you're diversified. You've got some gold, you've got some silver, and you bought a little Bitcoin. Do I think Bitcoin's good? No, I'm against all cryptocurrencies right now. Have I always been? No. Will I always be? No. I think blockchain is great technology. I just think Bitcoin is way overpriced, and something will overtake them. But I'm not going to get into that too much in today's video, because we have a lot to talk about the EU. Taking a quick look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones today only down 11 points or 0.02%. Not really doing much. Pretty well staying flat on the day. However, there again, if you look at it for the 1 month timeline, it's down about 3.5%. The NASDAQ down about 59 points today, or 1/3%. Not really any major hit. But once again, you look at it on a 1-month timeline, and it's down 9.5% roughly. A new addition to the page, thanks to one of my members mentioning the other day, hey, 2 days in a row and you ain't mentioned anything about the S&P. I had to bring the S&P up. If you're a member of the channel, I'm going to bend over backwards for you. I can't thank you enough for being a member of the channel. And one of our members of the channel had asked, how come you don't show the S&P? Taking a quick look at the S&P today, it is down 12 points and down 350 points, or almost 6% in the last month. So there's almost nowhere to hide from what's going on. However, moving on to the EU, which is the topic at hand today, the new announcement that they've announced is a new plan to take people's unused savings accounts. I mean, let's be honest. The money's just sitting there in a savings account. You're not really making a lot of money on it. And they want to take that money out of the bank and invest it in companies that are having a hard time generating capital. Now, there's so many things wrong with that we're going to talk about. First of all, if you're a company that's having a hard time generating capital, you probably suck. I hate to say it like that, because let's be honest. If you've got a great, solid company, you've got excellent leadership, you've got an honest, trustable company, a great product, you should have no problem generating capital. It doesn't matter. People will want to invest in you because they believe in you. You're like a leader. Good leaders, people follow. Good companies, people invest in. Well, why can't they use their own money and invest in it? Because the truth of the matter is, they're as indebted as the United States government. For those of you that don't know, the government, we're huge in debt here in the United States. Let's pull up the debt clock real quick. U.S. debt clock. I'm going to show you how much red there is when you look at this. It's going to be mind-blowing. $36.6 trillion in debt. Almost no chance that this will ever be paid back. I mean, you know, some people say if they give up Alaska or if they give up their gold or something like that, that would be total insanity if they did some stupid thing like that. And there was an announcement at one point where they had asked, you know, could we give up Alaska to offset our debt? I mean, it's insane that anybody would even come up with that, but I expect insanity from government nowadays with some of the stupid plans that they have in place. Now, is every plan bad? Is every politician bad? I'm not going to say everybody is, but I'm going to say there is a lot of corruption out there. And, you know, I've said and talked about this in other videos. It almost feels like you hear about it, they know what's happening, but no one ever gets in trouble for it. You know, you hear this, should we audit so-and-so? He makes $200,000 a year, but he's got $98 million in the bank account. How did he get all that money making $198K a year? I mean, how? That's what I'm wondering. You know, clearly insider trading, should we audit? It's a no-brainer. If you're breaking the law, you should be punished. And the high-ups, they never get punished. And then they do stuff like this. Want to take people's money at their savings account and push it into bad investments. And, you know, the idea that, oh, well, this is unused savings accounts. People don't need it. You know, it's a savings account. Who don't need a savings account? I mean, the reason people save is because they're worried about the future because of the stupidity of politicians now. You want to take their savings account, then there will be absolutely no incentive to save money. What do you think that will do to the economy if there's no incentive to save money? The truth of the matter is, if you're going to work every day and you're producing something and you're not consuming because you're taking the money you make and you're saving it, you want to save every penny. Who are you helping? What are you doing? Yes, you're helping yourself, but you're also helping everybody else. Because if you're not consuming, you're essentially you're producing. You've got a net positive. And savings is essentially what fuels and thrives a good economy. Yes, spending does play a part. Eventually, people have to spend. But those that are saving help the economy because they're not consuming, they're producing so someone else can consume. And then someone else has to pay in money into the system to get the items they want. I mean, it would be great if every American went today and said, you know what, we're not going to buy nothing for the next month, but we're going to keep producing. What do you think would happen to that abundance of stuff? Do you think it's just going to sit on the shelf and rot? No. The price would come down a little bit and it would get sent to other countries and people would consume it. We don't need as much consumption as we have. I mean, the government needs us to consume. Why? Because they need the money to keep generating round and round so they can take a tax every time that dollar changes hand. Let's be honest. You got roughly an 8% sales tax. That means roughly every 13 times that dollar changes hands, the government's made a buck in tax. Every 13 times. How many times does that dollar move around? You know, someone pays you, you pay someone, they pay someone else, that person pays someone else, and it just keeps going round and round. But here's the thing, we're not talking a dollar, we're talking big money. So, you know, the fact that they want to do this is going to promote one thing. Treat money like it's a hot potato. Get rid of it as quick as you can. But here's the catch. Don't go out and buy stuff that's going to lose value. Don't buy the stuff they want you to buy. Because, you know, they would like it if you would buy useless junk. Or they'll like it if you don't spend the money so they can spend your money for you. What better way? I mean, I would love to spend everybody's money. However, that would be a crime if I did it. But if they do it, it's perfectly legit. They're helping you in their eyes because you're not really making any money. Why not take your savings account and invest it? And who's going to get that interest? That's what I'm wondering. Let's hypothetically say the company does well and it's doing so well. What happens if you need that money all of a sudden? Can you sell those investments after it had? Because let's be honest. If all of a sudden they put all of people's savings account today into Tesla, what would happen to Tesla stock? Tesla stock would go up because of the huge influx of money that just rolled into the system. But let's say the next day you need that money for something. Do you get the same amount of money that you put into it? Because if that's the case, that means you're taking all the risk and you're not getting any of the reward, which is insanity. I mean, the whole point of investing is for a shot at making something. And that's why I like to invest in gold and silver. Despite some people saying gold and silver is not an investment, you know what? It's done me very well. It's done me very well. Every time I get a gold coin, it seems like that gold coin costs more money than the previous gold coin. Every time I buy a silver coin, I mean, darn, 2 weeks ago you could have gotten silver coins for $31 spot. Now we're at $33 today. I mean, think about that for a minute. That was only a couple weeks ago. And this is rising. Once the people start pushing into gold and silver, it's only going to go higher. And, you know, this idea of $50 silver, $60 silver could just be a blip on the screen. Because when the world starts moving into something, what's going to happen? And where is the world going to put their money? Every option that I just showed you is horrible. I mean, some people might say, how? But everything, buy a house. Everything's in a huge, big, fat bubble. Everything. And they want to keep blowing this bubble up higher and higher and higher. Instead of let some of the air out of the bubble, let things come down, let people build up a savings account, they want to do all the wrong things. You know, when I read through some of this, I was like, okay, let's see this real quick. Let's just read one. I just want to read one little piece of this real quick for you. Capital in the EU isn't lacking. European households save 1.4 trillion annual compared to the US that only saves 800 billion. I mean, think about that. Obviously, with the EU having a huge savings account, they want it. There's no incentive for them to hold cash now. If they hold cash, it's going to get invested in bubbled stocks, bubbled companies, companies that can't raise money on their own. And when it gets lost, who's going to get stuck paying that? Are people going to lose their money? Of course they're going to lose their money. They're not going to get that back. A lot of people have this belief, oh, well, the FDIC in the United States is going to cover you if anything happens to your investments. There's not enough insurance. It's like when Hurricane Katrina hit Texas. It essentially wiped out the hurricane insurance. They didn't have the insurance for people. If we had gotten hit with one more hurricane after Katrina, that's it. There was no money in the system. Where were they going to get that money from? That's exactly what FDIC insurance is. And here's the thing. This right now is targeting the EU. So if you're in the EU, I am sorry for you. If you've got a fat savings account, if it were me, and just my personal opinion, I would want to invest in something of my choice. I would rather pick my poison than have someone else pick it for me. And I would push into gold and silver. And I think more and more people are waking up and they're deciding that they want to get into gold and silver. And that's why more and more people are watching channels like this one. They're becoming members of channels like this one. It blew my mind when someone told me how expensive an ounce of silver is in some of these EU countries that have what they call the VAT tax, the VAT tax on precious metals. I said, that is crazy. And then I got asked by one person, hey, if I become a member, will you ship my ounce to me even if I'm on the other side of the world? I'm going to do my best. I can't track it, obviously. If you're somewhere out over in France or Germany or somewhere like that, I have no way to track your package. But, of course, I'm going to send it out. I was thrilled when I seen someone in Australia get a big package from me. I was thrilled when people in Canada got them. I was thrilled when someone in Europe got them. Unfortunately, someone in Venezuela, he didn't get his. It was an ounce of silver and some star notes, a couple $2 bills, that type of stuff. It happens. Stuff gets lost in the mail. But I'm like, man, $1.99 for a shot? And yeah, I am promoting my memberships a little bit on the channel. It's one of them little plugs. I don't do this for money. I do this because I enjoy talking to people about what's going on. It's a great opportunity. But silver and gold, I would pick some up. You don't have to get it from any specifics. I don't sit here and promote companies generally. Every once in a while, if I get an amazing package, I'm going to be getting a nice big one here in the next week. And I might end up saying exactly where I bought it from. A little gem coin shop in the middle of nowhere with some amazing deals. And if you give them a call, you can go check out their eBay store, see what they got. But I would just give them a call them directly and say, hey, I saw you had this. I'd rather just buy it right directly from you in person. That's the easiest way to do it. But I haven't decided if I was going to mention that yet, but there's a good chance I will, because I was pretty psyched about the deals I got. It blew my mind. And they're just a little shop, like I said. I'm not even in Maine anymore. I actually live in Texas now, but it was such an awesome. You guys are going to see it, and you're going to be like, what? So with that being said, I think gold and silver are really poised to continue a run up. But coming to the end of the first financial quarter, I expect they're going to have to beat it down a little bit, clear out some of them short positions, and then they'll let it run. Because here's the thing. If the price runs too high right now with all them short positions that are coming due, they're going to lose a lot of money. And so it's in their best interest to beat down the price. And, someone asked me, can they afford to beat it down? Here's the thing. It's not even real money. Let's be honest. It's paper. It's paper silver contracts. It's paper money. They can really afford to do whatever they want as long as they don't run out of silver. Because once they run out of silver, once they don't have the ability to make delivery, that's it. The music stops. It's a game of musical chairs. Right here. Look at this right here. Paper to silver ratio, 377 to 1. Paper to gold ratio, 129 to 1. When the music stops and they can't make delivery, 376 people are going to be left holding a piece of paper, and only one man or woman or person, I don't want to use any specific pronouns, I don't want to upset anybody, is going to be left with an ounce of silver. The other 376 are going to be left holding the bag. Same with gold. Gold, 128 people are going to be left holding a piece of paper. Only one person is going to be left holding an ounce of silver. Is that going to be you? Are you already going to have your gold and silver? Will you have already made the right decision? And I can tell you from experience, when things start getting frantic, companies start canceling orders. We've seen it. And I'm just going to come out and say it. Despite I'll never have them as a sponsor, I'll probably never have them as a sponsor anyway. Remember when silver went down to $11 and then all of a sudden it shot up to $29? What happened with that, Max? They canceled something like 4,000 silver orders. Why? Says on the bottom. Go look at the companies. Next time you're placing an order, look at it. We reserve the right to cancel your order at any time for any reason. It's in black and white on almost every website that sells precious metals. That's why you have to get yours today. Where you buy it from, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I recommend, I don't give recommendations, but my personal opinion, shop around, find the best deal, find a reputable company, find someone to pick it up from. If you meet someone on Facebook and they're going to give it to you at spot because they're hurting and they can't pay their insurance bill this month or their house payment, there's opportunity there. Obviously, be cautious if you're going to meet someone. Your regular rules apply. I apologize if you can hear my dog drinking water in the background. It sounds kind of weird. I can hear it clear, but I don't know if you guys can. I recommend you practice safety if you go meet somebody. You know, I recommend you know what you're looking at, know the difference between real and fake silver, real and fake gold, understand how it feels, understand how it pings, understand if you've got a Sigma. Not everybody has a Sigma. I have one, but not everybody does. You can pick up a cheap acid kit, though, on eBay, which will cut out a lot of fakes right there. I know some people feel uncomfortable putting a drop of acid on a coin. Some people scratch the coin. If it's a bullion bar of silver, a bullion ounce of silver, bullion ounce of gold, that type of stuff, it'll probably be okay. A lot of people overlook jewelry. I think there's a lot of good opportunities in jewelry. I pick up jewelry on a regular basis now, only because some of these jewelry stores are just looking to get rid of it. I mean, they're sucking it in and it has no value. You know, they give you a trade-in. Oh yeah, we'll knock $100 off your ring if you want to trade that in. You know, and of course they do it, and maybe it's only $125 in gold. They'll take it, and they're more than willing to dump it to somebody else. They're not in it. They're in it for the big markups that they're going to make when they sell new jewelry. So with all that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I thank you all for watching and commenting. I hope you all have a great day. If you would, be sure to check out some of these other great videos. And if you're in the EU, hopefully this does not affect you. Hopefully you're prepared for it when it happens. A lot of people were ill prepared when Cyprus happened, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. Hopefully this is not going to affect you, but most likely it will if you're not prepared. So definitely check out some of these other great videos and hit that thumbs up button. And I can't wait to see you guys again on T-Square Talk. And if you would like to become a member, like I said, it's only $1.99, and I would love to have you join and become a member. I can't thank you enough if you do. And a special thank you once again to Luke and Bill for both becoming members in yesterday's video. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And y'all have a great day. Thank you all for watching, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.